Can you guess what year this phone is from? This is Sony Ericsson's first breakthrough model, a phone that sold in the millions. The T610 has one of the most timeless designs of any phone I've ever seen. This phone was designed by Swedish industrial designer Erik Ahlgren. The phone was so highly acclaimed that it won awards at the time. The Sony Ericsson T610, seen here in a beautiful silver finish and combined with this stunning piano black top section. This phone reflects both the utilitarian monolith of the 1990s and the silver optimism of the futuristic 2000s. This phone is retro-futuristic to its core. It looks like a design that could have come out of the 1960s, yet doesn't look out of place for any possible futures in the 2060s. The T610 came out in 2003. Was that your guess? Let me know below. The example I have here is my original T610 that I remember getting second hand, and I used this phone for well over a year before finally upgrading to the K750. But I still love this phone to this day. Its design is just so timeless, especially compared to just about any other phone from history. I would say the T610 sits firmly in my own personal list of top 10 phones of all time. I love the metallic feel and the unique indented sides, unlike the design of any other phone I've ever seen, that give extra grip. The clear and satisfying camera and volume buttons, and on the other side, that one unlabeled button. And it's got the joystick control that most early Sony Ericsson phones had. When they work, these are a great and fast way to use the phone. But get any dust or moisture in there, and this thing becomes cursed. There's a big colour screen, especially for a phone of this size at the time. This was still very early for colour screens on phones, with the T610 coming only a year after they first arrived. This was for many people their first ever colour screen phone. The viewing angles are not great. You pretty much have to look straight on. It's like having a privacy shield, a feature that people pay for these days. This is a 2G phone, but for connectivity there's also Bluetooth and infrared built in. And the ringtones are polyphonic. If you had one of these phones, which SMS tone was your favourite? There's also that built-in camera, which, again, very early days, and at only 0.084 megapixels, it did the job, but it didn't exactly knock your socks off. And despite having a camera, the phone only comes with, wait for it, 2 megabytes of storage. And there's no memory card slot for expanding the storage. And yet somehow this was enough for both the photos you take with the camera and any Java apps or games that you load into the phone. The T610 is able to run J2ME, or Java Mobile Edition games, though it can only run the very early Java games that are mid-P1 compatible. This is the very first version of Java that the very first Java phones, the Siemens SL45 and the Nokia 3410, were compatible with. It can be a bit difficult to find good J2ME games that run well on this phone. For example, I found this version of Tetris, and I wouldn't say it's great. It's almost playable, and to be honest, I'm not really sure what's going on with this breakout clone. Another problem with these J2ME games is they can't run full screen. This LCD is 128 by 160 pixels, but I can only seem to run 128 by 128 pixel Java games. But this phone has one more trick up its sleeve. The T610 can also run MoFun format games. And unlike games designed to run in the Java sandbox, the MoFun format can run games compiled directly for the CPU and can use up to 90% of the CPU's 40 MHz power. Meaning MoFun games have up to an order of magnitude more power available than Java games. This game I'm trying out here is called Spacebox, a really nice platform puzzler, and the graphics feel so much smoother than Java-based games. There's also a breakout clone called Syndroid. Now, this is what I'm talking about. There's a very limited number of phone models that could actually run these MoFun format games, and the T610 is really the main one that could. I found a game called Firepower, a nice little shooter, though it's a bit hard to see what's going on, and it's a bit hard to control. I quite like the look of Dragon Tail. This looks like it would be a fairly involved RPG, and I'm curious to know how big the world is. I'm quite impressed with these MoFun format games compared to the options for Java on this phone. I would have loved to have seen some demo scene demos of what would have been possible using this format, including, of course, would it be possible to run Doom on here? Unfortunately, with MoFun only being supported on very few handsets, and with a lot of restrictions on publishing MoFun games, such as no free games allowed, it kind of limited the success of this format. The original MoFun format was quickly superseded by the second version, the MoFun 3D format. One day I'll find a phone that can support MoFun 3D so I can try out some of those games. But until then, I do have some J2ME demos and some 3D graphics that we can enjoy while we consider what might have been possible if this phone and its capabilities had been given the attention it deserved.